The first time we saw our youngest son, it didn't quite go the way we'd expected. Well, I wasn't there for the birth for a start, and not many mothers can say that. In June 2000, Bill and I were approved as adoptive parents. We'd spent months completing all the assessments that would allow us to adopt from overseas. We already had a 4-year-old birth child, so we knew that we stood very little chance of being matched with a baby in the UK. So we arranged for the papers to be sent to Thailand and resigned ourselves to a long, long wait. But exactly 2 weeks after being approved, we got a phone call from social services. We'd been matched with a baby boy, born in the hospital just 10 minutes away from where we live. Were we interested in meeting him? Well, I've heard some daft questions in my time. A few days later, we arrived at the 1930s council house, foster home to several babies waiting to be adopted. We walked nervously into the nursery. I expected to see just our baby, but the room was crowded. Social workers, nursery nurses, the foster parents. It was a bit like walking into a job interview, a panel interview at that. What if we said the wrong thing? What if we did the wrong thing? Would they change their minds? Could they change their minds at this late stage? One of the nursery nurses walked towards us, smiling. She was holding a large baby. He was about 10 months old, with a big head, blonde hair, and the surliest, scowling expression I've ever seen. He looked like Boris Johnson on a bad day. And I thought, surely that's not my baby. And then I thought, oh God, does that thought make me a bad person? He just wasn't anything like I'd expected. I looked at Bill and could tell he was thinking the same thing. And then we smiled at each other and we both thought, okay, he's ours and we'll love him. But another nurse had been standing with her back to us, and just at that moment she turned round. She was holding a tiny 12-week-old baby with jet black hair and huge blue eyes. She whispered to him softly, "Look, Sam, here's your mum." I took him in my arms and burst into tears. So did he. I've loved him ever since, and he's the perfect match. But to this day, I'm still not sure whether those tears were tears of joy or just tears of relief that I wasn't taking Boris Johnson home after all. I don't know where little Boris is now, but I do know this. If the match between him and his new mum and dad is half as good as the match between us and Sam, he won't be scowling anymore.